Okay folks, just doing a follow-up video. This is my find on the side of the road, the fireplace, electric fireplace. So if you didn't see my first video on this, you can go check back on that. But the story on this was that the flames on the front, everything worked fine there, looked good, no issues. But the unit inside would not produce heat, and the fan struggled to work. It was laboring to get started, and when it did, it made a lot of noise and wasn't pumping a lot of air. So had this for a month and a half or so, and had it apart and diagnosed my last video what the source of the problem was. The fan got it running a little bit better, but still wasn't 100%. But had a thought earlier this week on how to tackle that. So I started with the fan earlier this evening and got that running pretty good now. So I'll cover that in a second, how I did that. But my earlier video I shared that I did some troubleshooting of the electrical, discovered this little guy down here is a fuse. It's a temperature sensitive fuse for overheat. It had failed. Electricity flowed through but stopped at that little guy. So I went online and bought a pack of 5 of them. Actually surprised to find them, but they're the exact same rating, size, identical. So I said earlier this evening I decided to tackle the fan, which is working but just laboring still a little bit and making a noise. So what you see here off to the side is this little needle pen of oil. It's actually intended for clockwork, lubricating parts in a clock and so on. Be careful not to start a fire here. Anyway, I ended up dropping that in all the little spots that I could get at for the shaft of this fan. Kept working it, and then got the fan going, let it run for quite a while. It was squeaking a little dab of oil here, a little bit there. Continue to do that. The oil comes out pretty slow, just a drop at a time. But anyway, finally got that fan humming along pretty good. It's pretty quiet and putting out pretty good air as well. So once I conquered that, then I decided to tackle this little fuse guy here. It was riveted on one end there on the left, and the other was clamped in, a straight piece. Fought a little bit with the clamp. Again, it's kind of fragile, so I didn't want to force it, but got the clamp open enough to be able to clamp the new one in there, and also drilled out the rivet and put a new rivet in. And so far so good. You see it just kicked out. So the thermostat portion seems to be working okay. I do have it set at a low temperature, so I'll turn it up a little higher, get that going again. But yeah, it's generating nice heat. See the elements there, you know, they don't get too hot, a little glow, but yeah, it seems like everything is working as it should so far. And again, the fan starts and stops just fine, doesn't need a little push to get going. Like I said, I worked the oil into each little part that I could get at there and let it work, and eventually it's worked its way in and got things lubricated and cleaned up and running well. Anyway, just wanted to do a follow-up video. This is something that's kicking around my garage in this state for a while now, and had the parts. Still had the unknown about the fan and how to tackle that. Didn't really want to tear that all apart. So I remembered I had the little oiler pen thing, so decided to give that a try because of the nice long needle to get into those tight spots. Anyway, that so far so good. That seemed to work. So I'm gonna run this a bit like that, and then probably leave this open and try it day after day and just get a good feel of whether it's gonna continue to run okay. And yeah, a few days of that, and then I'll put it together and put it back in its nice wooden yurt or whatever you call it, and see if I can find a home for it. Anyway, it's my follow-up vid. Let me know what you think. Putting out some pretty good heat there. Alright, thanks. Like, share, subscribe, and please, click that thumbs up. It helps me with searches on YouTube and in the internet. It gets me out there a little bit more, so more viewers. So thanks for that. Bye for now.